This podcast is proud to be part of the TalkSport Fan Network. TalkSport. Powered by fans.
A very good evening, everyone. Smiles all round. Of course, it is the Always Wolves Extra Time show. The final word on the weekend's action. And what action it was. What a day it was down at Molineux yesterday. Absolutely fantastic. What a finish to a game. The celebration, Molineux was rocking, and it's great. We're not going to be talking about any stupid VAR or anything like that. It's just talking about the game and Wolves, dizzy heights, I think 11th or 12th in the table. I'm not sure how the results have gone today just yet. I think Chelsea was 4-4. This is episode number 177, and I really am very thankful to for Creation Wolf, the local company, great people, for powering Extra Time. They deliver the industry's latest and most advanced digital solutions to take your brand. If you've got a company, oh my God, they will like superpower your brand because they've got the best insight on digital capabilities and inside knowledge. The Creation Walk link, as I say, they're a local company. They are Wolves fans, and they really will supercharge your company's digital brand if you get in touch with them. Link is in the description below. We have got a slight change in tonight's format. We're doing it in one go. There's a very good reason. I've got to get up very early in the morning. And the producer's got to get the podcast up as well, which we normally do the first thing. So she's going to do that tonight. We've got to get up early in the morning. And so we're doing it in one hit. And we have got an array of superstar talent and pundits coming on. We have Diogo. Paul, how you doing, mate?
Evening. I'm good, thank you, especially after that result yesterday, and hope everyone else is good as well.
Absolutely. Now, you often see Paul, who comes on, is a part of our regular four, the Fab Four, me, Paul, the Lord Jason, and of course Manny when we do the in-person podcast. But you also get to see Paul a lot on the away days with his reactions. He is a sports psychologist lecturer. Is that correct?
It is, yeah, you're right.
Staffordshire University. You're actually doing some work with some footballers as well, aren't you?
Yeah, we're working with, I'm not sure how much I should say, but we're working with Crewe Alexandra Academy, Chesterfield, Crystal Palace, and we've got a link up with Porto, FC Porto in 2024.
I mean, it's a hard life, mate, isn't it? You know, having to go over to Porto and everything. You love Portugal as well, don't you, mate?
Yeah, I love it over there. The people are great, and it's a great opportunity for me to learn from working with people from a different country.
Fantastic. In addition, we have the Lord himself, Lord Jason.
Well, tonight, Dave, I was just reading my book.
Absolutely, mate. I mean a shameless plug there for mate. Do you want to get that in straight away?
No, of course I don't, Dave. Available in all good bookshops and some really crap ones too. Tales from the Tape Volume 2. It's in the Wolves Club shop. You can get it from me online, or you can get it from Waterstones, Wolverhampton. Ta-da! Already 500 sold.
I bought that book. I've got a subscriber edition coming at some point, haven't I, mate? And it's I've added to my collection. All you need after that, mate, is one more to make a trilogy. You know, and then
there is going to be a third one, but Amy keeps saying, "Listen, get this one sorted first. Have a couple of years off, and then go again," because it does take up so much time. It's just unbelievable.
I'm not just saying this because you're my mate. The books are top quality. They are really good quality.
I mean, as for quality, and I'm not just saying it, look at this picture by Louise Cobbold that we've put in, and that's on the inside cover. And there's one by Jodie Creddock in the back cover. The quality, I've got to say, it's unbelievable.
How much are they?
They are £20, and even the guys in Waterstones couldn't believe how cheap they was. They said that is so cheap, and I think they've nearly sold out already. So it's just
absolutely. But you might have to order some more. I just want to say a big thank you to Wolves F1. He's done a super chat. If you want a super chat, guarantee your comment on the screen. He said, Gone plus Wolves turnaround since Luton and Ipswich games has been remarkable. Absolutely. And if you do want to guarantee your comment coming on the screen, you can send a super chat. or you can become a member. If you see people with a little Wolves symbol, different colours, they are fully fledged channel members. Next up, we have such an array of talent tonight to join. We're doing it in one go tonight. He's back. It's Josh. How you doing, mate?
I'm good, thanks, Dave. Yourself?
I'm very good. I'm very not. You've got the old poppy on as well. I've got mine on here as well. We got onto the thing and my little band. Have you been to you do a Remembrance Day parade today, mate?
Yeah, I did that this morning on the Royal British Legion on Ward Grove in Lanesfield, and then up at what they call Holy Trinity Church, top church, just past Dovedale Road. And then we've just had our church's remembrance service about an hour and a half ago, and down by the garden bar.
And mate, you're wearing an iconic Wolves kit, the old nutmeg. Has it got the Goodyear on the front?
Yeah,
there it is. Iconic Wolves kit with the Out of Darkness cometh light.
Not to make anyone feel old. It's the one that was year I was born, so I tried to get it for years, and I managed to find one from some seller in Ukraine years ago. I managed to get it for 50 quid.
Nice one. And last but no means least, it is. I've still got to get him a T-shirt with this on. I'm going to have to do that at some point. It is the voice of reason himself, with his Seattle Seahawks top on. See, I know my NFL, mate. I'm an Eagles fan myself. How are the Seahawks getting on, Jack?
I couldn't tell you. I
not really an avid fan.
No, not a close follower at all.
You're just like you're a bit like these Man United fans in Cornwall and stuff like that, you know.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Like that. I tell you what, if there's a team you want to follow in the NFL this year, it is the Eagles. They're 8-1 at the moment.
There you
fly,
go.
Eagles, fly.
Good.
I think they're still higher than the Seahawks as well, mate. So you know.
All right, yeah, we like an underdog though, don't we?
Oh well, we do. Just before we get started, I have got some other fantastic ideas for your Christmas gifting, so stay tuned for that. But I do want to remind everyone about the fantastic offer that we currently have from NordVPN. NordVPN is such a fantastic thing. I'm going to be using it because I'm going to need it a lot over the next couple of days. And basically, it protects your privacy, makes sure that there's no spooky people looking at what you're doing. You can put it on your Fire Stick. You can get your Netflix. You can get American Netflix. You go on holiday, you can get your British Netflix or your British Now TV. You can get your 3 p.m. kickoffs with your football if you can't attend the game. It is absolutely fantastic. And they're also at the moment back in the Movember campaign to raise money, obviously, for men's health, whether that's mental or physical. You can see that it's only £2.30 a month. Instead of £187 for 2 years, it's 64 quid, and you get an extra 4 months free as well. And you get a 30-day money back guarantee, and you can put it on multiple devices as well. So you can have it on your TV, your iPad, your computer, or your phones for one subscription for the whole family. Definitely worth getting it. Links in the description below. It's a cracking deal. Make sure you check it out because honestly, you won't get a better deal than that on a VPN. Right, let's move on, guys. Let's move on to the game. And I'm going to kick off with Paul. Paul, saw you after the match. You had one of your youngsters there, one of your girls there. The other one was playing a match, I think, wasn't she?
She was, yeah. She wanted to play instead of come to the match, and I guess that's understandable given she's at most home games anyway. But
did they win?
They didn't win, no. But they're both mascot against Burnley, so they're both really excited about that. So am I. So looking forward to that one.
Absolutely fantastic, mate. And talk me through your day and your expectations and how the game panned out from your emotion side of things to the end, mate.
Yeah, well, I went into the game, despite the result last week against Sheffield, feeling very positive and feeling like we were going to get something. And even when we went a goal down early on, I wasn't too worried about that. I didn't think that we'd collapse. I thought that we'd be very much still in the game and we'd still get something from it. It took longer than what I thought for us to get a goal back. But yeah, I was feeling very positive. That puts us on a run now of, is it one defeat in seven matches, and really shouldn't have been a defeat, should it, against Sheffield last week? And then as the game went on, I just felt like we'd huffed and puffed a bit, but not really done enough, and I felt it slipping away. But then I'm sure we'll talk about this in more depth in a bit. That injury time spell was magnificent, and I think the match of the day highlights and the punditry was really insightful about how they showed the different camera angles, and it showed how positive we were through the game, and especially going into that last 10 minutes, forcing the error from Eric Dyer. And then eventually that leads to Sarabia's goal. So in terms of emotions, obviously buzzing at the end, but I felt positive pretty much all the way through.
Positive pretty much all the way through. The Lord himself, Jason. I mean, come on. Did you fall out over your chair?
Listen, I've got to say, I saw it slightly different to Paul. We went a goal down, obviously, after 2 minutes, and the frustration setting you first top. I thought it was going to be difficult. Everyone's gone. Oh, you all went, then you're back now. Is that my internet?
I think it was you, Paul, you rather than us, because everyone else was there.
Oh, sorry. So we're a goal down after 2 minutes, and obviously you could hear the grounds around the stadium. And it's always going to be a difficult match to come back from. But I just think that the impetus throughout the game, you know, how Gary O'Neill clearly is pushing them, and sorry, it keeps freezing. Sorry, Dave, that's what's putting me off. Sorry, mate. What Gary O'Neill has instilled into this squad is incredible. Now, listen, he was getting a lot of grief, as we know, from a lot of sectors, and there's still people out there going, I'm still not convinced. What more does he need to do to convince us? I mean, listen, at the end of the day, I have got behind that manager from day one. It was arguably, some people were thinking it's not the big name we deserved after getting the former Spanish manager. You know, we've had a manager on the cheap. But actually, we look at it now, it was a very, very, very astute appointment, as we now see. And you hear how well he talks. That interview he gave in the dressing room yesterday was just fantastic to the players when he was talking to them. And he was saying, look, he's not a player like they were. So he said that the performance levels that they put in now, they've got to keep maintaining. And that's going to be the only problem. I said this to the guys off camera before. This is the problem now with expectation levels, because we do tend to beat the teams around us. And we knew it was always going to be the Wolves' way to lose last week against Sheffield United and then to beat top of the league Spurs today. So many people said it. We all said it, didn't we? We'll lose to Sheffield United and beat Spurs. And what did we do? It's such a Wolves thing. But yesterday, with the crowd getting behind them, willing them on into injury time as we did, it felt like those Nuno years. You know, I know it's not good to look in the past and obviously bring up four managers, but it was a little bit like that. I took Jonas as well, and it was his second game, and he got really, really excited. You know, he doesn't quite grasp it though, because as soon as Spurs scored, he heard the cheer. He started cheering as well. So I had to have a quick word with him. But I've got to say, I thought it was a fantastic performance. Hello, Lucy. In the second half as well, that's when I could see us really winning the game. You know, I really could. I knew we was going to come back into it, and it was a matter of time, really, for me. And then, obviously, what happened in injury time, I'm sure we're going to talk about, was just fantastic.
Well, absolutely. And just to let you know that we've been joined by Lucy, the Golden Girl, as well. Welcome, Lucy. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Chick, sorry about that. I was desperately trying to get on. It just wouldn't let me. Evening, everybody. Evening, boys.
Evening, Lucy.
Fantastic. We'll come to you in a second. We're just discussing the game, Lucy. And Josh, to you next. I mean, you've heard what Jason's had to say there. I thought that's quite, and you know, that what Paul said as well, but regarding the match of the day and the analysis. So I watched Gary O'Neill's press conference as well, and after the game, and I thought that was quite interesting. Jason, I think he's referred to that regarding how he spoke to him at halftime, and also at the end of the game, how he actually went and said it's the proudest he's ever been of any team he's coached. I did say to them about how he asked them to perform, and he would always give that effort as a player, but he could not produce the quality that they produced. Are you starting to see a team, Josh, that has got a structure, that's starting to believe in themselves, in the manager, we're starting to see this pack mentality that the fans are starting to believe again, and the quality is there and all this stuff. Obviously Lopetegui left, didn't think this team was going to be good enough to stay up. What's your thoughts? After now, obviously it was a difficult first few games.
Yeah.
But the last few games, I don't know about you as a fan watching this team now. Even though we went behind, I still believed that we weren't going to capitulate like we did early season. I felt we were the better side, and really on the balance of play, we probably 3-1, 4-1 wouldn't have been such a bad score, but we couldn't put the ball in the back of net. I mean, Wang had that chance to break that record. Yeah. He'll be disappointed with that. But Pablo Sarabia.
Yeah.
This is when Pablo Sarabia came to Wolves. We were told he's brilliant at providing assists and he scores goals, and we've been waiting for that. He came on with that 10-minute cameo. He scored a goal. That first touch, how he brought that down, and it was a great ball from Cunha as well. People give Cunha a stick about and stuff like that. The quality of the delivery of that ball, how he curved it around the defender, but how he controlled that and then finished it, and then he cuts inside to play that through ball to Mario Lemina, who basically 97th minute, what an engine he's got to be running in onto that. Yeah. He nearly fell over trying to get that touch on it, and he just about got it. Mate, I mean, Pablo Sarabia, this is what we want to see.
Yeah. Finally, he's shown, give us a glimpse of what we can expect in some games from him now. I say me and my brother have wanted him to do well. All the players that come in, you want him to do well, and when you see him start getting a bit of flack, a bit like Wang did last year, but he was showing he was a workhorse constantly. And Sarabia, when he's come on, you can see in his head he's trying. It's not click sometimes, but when he come on yesterday, you could see it just click straight away. He knew where he was going, he knew what he was doing. And I'm glad he got the goal and assist. So I think that was a good outing for him, even though it was just a 10-minute cameo. But back onto the belief of Gary O'Neill, that's the one thing I wondered about. I thought, were the players, when he come through the door, were the players going to think, oh, who's this? What's he doing? We don't know who he is. We've never heard of him, apart from some of the English lads would have done. But to be fair, in that video on they put on the YouTube and the Facebook after the game in the changing room, like Jason said, like you shouldn't be talking about it in the past, but it was like that essence that Nuno had. They were all there looking at him.
I don't think I've had a chance to watch that. Obviously, been major busy.
Only a 15, 20 second clip, but he's in the middle of that changing room. The camera's in there, going to started Gary O'Neill, spans around all the players, and you can see them all listening, all there, all in belief with what he's saying. And I think it's starting to show now that the belief is there that we can push on.
I feel that belief. I mean, Jack, are you believing in this team now? Are you starting to think actually we can avoid, all the doomsters and stuff like that? I mean, a lot of them have gone, sort of disappeared under the rocks and stuff for a little while now. And to be fair, there's a lot of really open-minded people that were very, very critical of Gary. And there's a lot of people that have put their hand up and gone, do you know what? I've got it wrong. And you've got to respect people like that, they've come in, he had a reputation, and we started, you can understand that, I remember me after the Ipswich game, I was pulling my hair out because of, we kept capitulating. And then that Man City game, and then the stuff that he did, obviously, with Monday Night Football and coming on, and ever since then, you just feel like the penny's kind of dropped. He started to really understand the players. The players have started to buy into what he's trying to do. And he's still saying it's still very, very early games, very early days at the moment. And one of the things that he also said on his press conference, people were talking about how well we've performed against City and Newcastle and Villa and, Tottenham yesterday. But obviously, other games, he said teams lower down the pecking order, shall we say, in the table. Wolves are going to, the onus is going to be on Wolves to come out and, you know, be able to also play in a style where we dictate and take the game and win the game, not just hold and wait for our time. He referred to the Luton game. He referred to the Sheffield United game, although he did say he was very, very pleased with the Sheffield United game in the first half. We just didn't finish our chances. And he wants us to be able to play, you know, against the so-called big six top teams and the teams that are down the bottom and still be able to stamp our identity and adapt our way of playing. Do you see this as a team that can, you know, push on and maybe better the 13th place finish and maybe even get into the top half and push the outside of Europe this year, Jack? From what you see?
I think it's still early days to kind of...
Isn't it?
Yeah, consistency is absolutely it. And I think we've got to remember we've got a reasonably young team, a very young manager. So there's going to be ups and downs, you know. I mean, it could be that, you know, we lose two in a row after this and all of a sudden we're back to sort of people saying, I'm not quite sure. For me personally, Gary O'Neill feels like a really good fit. He's coming across as someone that appreciates the opportunity he's got. I think he understands, because of his background, Wolverhampton as a city. And I think he said something in his interview with Mikey Burrows on Monday where he said, wearing the Wolves shirt has to mean something. And just something in my head just went, he gets it. This guy gets it. He understands what that badge is. You know, we can have any kind of manager you want. We've had some great managers in recent times, haven't we? And it just hasn't quite clicked with them. I mean, Lopetegui is a good example. Fantastic manager, did a great job for us. But you never quite got the feeling that he really bought into Wolverhampton and to the fan base. It was kind of just a job to him, I think. And a job he did really well. Let's not, you know, sort of rewrite history. But Gary O'Neill feels to me like he wants to really build something and to create that connection with the fans and the players and at board level. I mean, the noise yesterday in injury time, I've not heard Molineux that loud for a long, long time. And the other thing, I know everyone else will probably touch on this as well, nobody left. Nobody left. Mate, you know,
do you know what? I've got to tell you this, right? You know, I do my fan reactions after the game and stuff like that. Have you seen it, Jason?
No, I'm just... I know what you're going to say.
I do my fan reactions. I had my dad. I did Sensation. We do our thing, and then we have an extra fan reaction. And there was sometimes we've got quite a group of people that sort of know where we do, and they want to come on for the extra one. And I was interviewing, and nice lad, really lovely chat. I came to the second person that I was talking to, and I was going, and he went, "I left at 1-0." And I'm like, why? I said, you're going to get... Yeah, he said, I left at 1-0. I said, you're going to get pelters for this. But what struck me is, if you left at 1-0, this is like half an hour after the game outside the North Bank. You're still there waiting to come on to the... I thought, how are you still here? He said, I was depressed at 1-0. I was like, you never... I understand some people will leave because of the traffic and they want to get away, and I get that. And I remember being at Villa away a couple of years ago, and my niece's boyfriend at the time was at the game. He doesn't get to many games. And we were losing 2-0. There was 20 minutes to go. He saw me. He went, I'm going down. I was like, why are you going? There's 20 minutes plus added time left. He's like, this is terrible. That was the day we came back and won 3-2. And I'm like, you just don't know. I remember people leaving at half-time against Leicester. How many years ago was that? We were 3-0 down and we won 4-3 and they left at half-time. It's like, football is one of them games. I literally, as long a lot of the fans last week, stayed right to the end, 90+10 in the pouring rain last week away at Sheffield to get that sucker punch of a penalty, which wasn't a penalty. Tough to take. But when you get like a 90+1, apparently only 8 times in Premier League history as a team turned. Is that, Paul, you're nodding, is that correct stat?
Yeah, I've seen that stat as well. Since the Premier League started, only 8 teams have been losing going into injury time and then gone on to win.
And that's and Tottenham, it's happened to twice.
Yes, that's right, yeah.
Although, did Tottenham not come back against Sheffield United early in the season and scored 2 added goals to win?
I believe you're right. Yeah.
It's a funny old game, as they say, Saint and Greasy. Lucy, on to you, mate. I mean, you haven't been very well recently. It's great to see you looking good, and you've got that golden smile back. And boy, I bet it's extra golden today. I bet you've been buzzing like the rest of us all day long, mate.
It is. It's a strange one again. It's like City. For days after, it was like, did that happen? Did we really just win? It hasn't sunk in yet, but the feeling when he blew that whistle, because he should have blown it at the 6 minutes, shouldn't he? And if they hadn't wasted their time rolling around the floor, like
absolutely brilliant point, Lucy,
and doing long throw-ins. I mean, how long were them throw-ins? That was ridiculous. If it wasn't for that, and imagine them 2 minutes on, we wouldn't have won that game. So, fair play, ref.
Oh, we've got a comment here from Lily White Lane. Thanks for joining us. It's great to have Spurs fan joining us. As a Spurs fan, respect to Wolves, we had key players missing. We weren't at our best because of it. You guys capitalised it with 2 brilliant goals, and Neil is a great manager, and Sarabia was class. Thank you for that comment. Gaz says, spot on, Lucy. Guys, who wants to see that last minute goal and that feeling?
Yes, please.
In the chat, if you want us to just put on, and you've also got. I think there was a Spurs fan sitting in front of us.
Yeah.
Because, see if you can spot them. I'm going to try and find this video, and we'll put it up on the screen, and we can watch that moment and that joy. If I can find it, I'm sure I saw it earlier.
On about videos as well, Dave. The two brothers that do the Spurs match day vlogs.
Oh yeah.
They put the noise, and you hear it on the telly, and you hear it on the highlights. You hear the gasp of when Lamina's run through, and then the noise is just piercing. It's unbelievable.
I have to say as well, expressions. Yo blood, you know, yo blood. It's like we would. He's really funny. He's comical. He plays with it. He's a very big YouTuber.
Do you hear what he said on the one video? He said, I've seen more shots at an AA meeting.
I know, yeah.
Brilliant.
He is funny. He
come out when they scored. He come out with 5 at the back in pace and attack. You're going down. Yeah. I'm thinking that's karma. That is. We could have went on and really won.
Yeah, he's a very animated guy, and he's a massive YouTuber. Because of how he is, he's done really, really well. And I also met up with a Tottenham fan, Chris Cowlin, who's just went past 100k subs at the weekend. He's like if there's an open of a paper bag by Tottenham, he'd be there at it. He goes to everything. He's like hardcore, really good guy. And I went on his channel. He become on ours before. We're walking up. He thought it was going to be about 4-3, but Tottenham were going to win. And I have watched some of those Tottenham YouTube clips back. We've all been there with that pain and stuff like that. But it is kind of comical to watch it and stuff. But let's get from the North Bank the goal that won it, and see if you can find if you can spot, because I think the way they react, I've never seen them before. I think they're Tottenham fans. I have a feeling. Did anyone kind of spot the Tottenham fans?
I mean, what gives you that? What gives you that feeling, Dave? I mean, he was jumping around, joining in. I mean, definitely Spurs fans, aren't they? Definitely.
I mean, he was there with his lad. And to be honest, I watched the thing like very emotionless. I don't know how they get into to be honest, because I don't know, but like I've had a few people when I put that clip on, it's like spot the Tottenham fan. Do you think there were Tottenham fans?
Yeah.
He's the bloke with the grey hair, definitely is.
Yeah.
He's just motionless. He's just like.
How good. I mean, we were all doing a bit of that, though, weren't we? Like, when that goal went in, the whole stadium erupted and was just absolute mayhem. And then they put Status Quo on the end and everyone's singing and dancing. Don't you think it's, Tottenham, their fans have been singing, we've got our club back. We've got our club back. That's one of the things. I'm starting to feel that we're starting to get our club back.
Dave, absolutely. I mean, everything, what we're going to remember is everything what happens on the pitch dictates everything off it. So a few weeks back, we're moaning about Wolfie. Yeah, me included. We're moaning about the paint on the bollards. We're moaning about Fosun. We're moaning about esports. We're moaning about everything, aren't we? Moaning, we don't spend any money. Now, all of a sudden, our attention has gone completely off all of that and we're focused on what's happening on the pitch. And like Sarabia for me, he's been a bit of a big part player. He's definitely, obviously he was a Lopetegui signing. He was a player that Lopetegui had a lot of faith in. He was Spanish, he compatriot. And for him to come in under difficult circumstances under O'Neill on the basis that he has got to perform. He comes in, he's got to perform, he's got to keep that shirt, and he's done just that. I mean, the skill for that first goal was just incredible. Just incredible. The way.
Mate, I mean, I've referred to it earlier. How he's took that out, he's almost in the air when he's actually put the touch.
So he's took it out the air and he's on his right foot. He's then took a couple of steps with it still in the air. The ball's then travelling at an angle at a speed, so it's going away from goal. The angle's getting more and more acute. Then he just sticks it on his left foot, and it's sort of Martinho-esque. Not the finish, the quality of how he held up the ball in the air, unbelievable. And then obviously
past the keeper before he even smelt it. To be honest, if you think about that goal as well, it took us all by a little bit of surprise, really, because it was up there, one pass in from Cunha. And within 2 seconds, it's in the back of the net. It's like,
and Dave, we don't score many goals like that. We don't score many goals from crosses, do we? So obviously, when the cross goes in, we're not really expecting much. And then he just picks that out. And I was fortunate yesterday to take Jonas in my friend's box, and in the box next to me was Pablo's family. So obviously, before he come on, well, we knew it was his family because before there was all in the box and there wasn't coming out. He come on a sub and they all come out. Then he scored and he pointed straight at them. But they was over the moon for him, and it's nice to see things like that. And I think we was talking about stats. I think there was a stat I saw about Sarabia being one of the only subs to obviously come on and score and an assist in injury time, which he did, and the assist as well. That's how important now. Obviously, stats for assists in games, and for him to come on, not only score of a worldie of a goal like that, but then to put that. Thread that ball through to Lamina, who still could have missed, still had a job to do, but it was just incredible. And the way we did it, in the manner we did it, against who we did it, it just shows that we never gave up. We kept digging in. We was very resilient throughout. You know what? Under Lopetegui, under Large, these games would be gone, especially under Large. We go a goal down. We might as well have gone home then. But now under O'Neill, it's like, and I say, it's a bit like the Nuno era. In as much it feels like if you go a goal down, you're still in the game. And we got a goal down early doors to a really good side, and we didn't stop going.
We didn't stop going as well. And another thing I want to point out, and I want to come to you in a little bit, Paul, about the psychology of how that could help Pablo in a second, because I'm sure that you'll have an insight for that. But Josh, one of the things that Gary O'Neill's subs were really good, but that second goal, Tommy Doyle makes that goal. He literally takes out half of the Tottenham team by his quick thinking pass, plays it out to Pablo, who's got his tail up, and obviously he does really, really well, cuts inside, sees Lamina for the pass, and obviously he's finishing. But Tommy Doyle comes on again, and Joe Gomez had a really good game, let's not mistake, and Bellegarde did well. They all did well, but Tommy Doyle really does love a quick forward pass. We saw it against Bournemouth, and he took the free kick, picked it up, beautiful ball, and Tottenham were on the back foot. They were all out of kind of panicking positioning, and I think that's worth a mention as well, because Tommy Doyle's making an impact every time he comes on, I think.
Yeah, so that pass, there was multiple chances throughout the game, and Spurs as well. Every time either team tried to do a quick free kick, ref either called it back or told them, no, wait. I think it's the only, I'm sure it's the only one all game, and he just put his hand on the ball, looks to the ref and just gone bang, put it out wide, and then it just come from that, just quick thinking, and it paid off. It paid off big time.
Stu Kelsall there says, saying one ball from Doyle, quick thinking, we're flooding the Spurs area.
Yeah.
Paul, want to come to you. Pablo Sarabia, he's come, obviously we talked about it. He's been one of these players where it's like, we think he's going to be one that comes and it never happens for him. You know, we've been open for some, talked about obviously Fabio Silva and stuff like that. And he's had opportunities in the past. Do you think that, you know, Gary O'Neill said he's been working really hard in training and that's why he got his chance, and you could see how much it meant to him. Do you think that psychology of getting that goal and that assist and belief, and also the team having the belief and the manager having the belief, is going to be a springboard to see what we were going to get, we were promised we were going to get from him?
I think it will be, yeah. I think he'll find himself on the bench though for Fulham, but I think when you've had a bit of success like that, you then start to choose options that are a bit more your normal game rather than your safe game. I mean, it's worth saying as well, that is his 5th assist this season. He got 3 against Blackpool and he got 1 against Brighton.
Right,
so
yeah.
He's not had a completely disastrous season. He hasn't been used much, but he is on 5 assists.
Why do you think he's not been used much? I mean, and Gaz Wolves here also wants to ask, what is Sarabia's actual best position, do you think?
I think that's probably a reason why he hasn't been used that much, in that we're not sure of his exact position, but he was given a start, wasn't he, at Palace? And he was really ineffective at Palace. And I think that goes back to your question that you asked me a while back. You said about, will it give him confidence now, you know, in forthcoming matches? I think against Palace, he was just passing it backwards every time he got it. And he carried no threat at all on the minimal touches that he had in the game. So the next time we see him, I think we're likely to see a player who is trying these more adventurous things that lead to goals rather than passing it backwards. A bit like with Neto this season. Gary O'Neill's given him the confidence to take people on, probably with the message that if you lose it 3 or 4 times in a row, you'll beat him on the 5th time. And when you do, that's going to lead to a goal. So when your manager backs you like that, it gives you the license to do these things that are a bit more challenging, but come with a high reward. And that's what we're seeing from Neto. And hopefully Sarabia can, you know, add to that. But I just want to make a quick point based on what you were saying about Tommy Doyle's pass. If you watch the clip on Match of the Day, the free kick's awarded because Lemina wins a ball that he's got no right to win. Yeah. He gets in front of a Spurs player, and it just shows the intensity that he's got. And then as soon as Tommy Doyle puts his foot on the ball to take the free kick, I said to the girls, watch Mario Lemina now. And Højbjerg's looking the other way, who's meant to be picking him up. And Mario Lemina just turns and sprints towards the goal. And that's...
In the 97th minute.
Yeah, exactly. After the ground that he's covered in the match against a good side. So I think that's perhaps been a bit overlooked, but that played a huge role in the goal, the way that we were being so aggressive and trying to win the ball back. And he sets the tone for other players in the midfield as well, I think. So, Sarabia can kick on now. He's got the quality. We know that. And I think the last point that I wanted to quickly make is last season, our top assist maker had got 2 assists. Right. Now we're on Neto, who's got 7. Sarabia's got 5 in all competitions. Hwang's on 3. And I was thinking to myself before, well, why is that? You know, why they're the same players, really. It's the movement. Those goals come yesterday from movement. Sarabia makes a great run and he's well picked out by Cunha, but he makes a lovely run off the back of the Tottenham defender. And it's the same for the second goal. I just talked about Lemina's run. He makes Sarabia's pass easy because of the run. And I just think Gary O'Neill is making them have more movement. There's a more emphasis on movement. And that's why Hwang's done 7 goals, because that's his real strength.
I think that's a really, really good point. Jack, I want to come to you, then I'm going to come to you, Lucy, after Jack. Obviously, picking up on the points that Paul said there about Sarabia, it'd be interesting to hear your thoughts on his cameo. But also, I'd like to see what you think about Bellegarde and what was your take on him as well.
Yeah, just on Sarabia, I think he's probably been a little bit unlucky in that Wang, Kuna and Neto have kind of picked themselves for the last 2 months, haven't they? Because, again, like Paul mentioned, I think in the Premier League alone, between them, they've got 20 goal involvements. So they're creating goals, scoring goals between them. So you've got to put them on the pitch. So Sarabia's had to be patient, as O'Neill mentioned, and he's had to wait and bide his time. What's great, though, I think I'm right in saying that we've now had 6 goals this season scored by substitutes. You know, Sasha's got a couple. Sarabia got one yesterday. Wang got a couple from the bench, didn't he, at the start of the year? So when you've got players on the bench that are going to influence a game in that way, and yes, you have to make defensive subs as well from time to time. It's not just about bringing people on to score. But when you've got players on the bench that you believe are going to come on and get you a goal, if you're 1-0 down or you're drawing, whatever, again, that feeds into the crowd, and the crowd will stay with you because you're thinking, well, it's okay. Okay, it's 1-0 to Tottenham, but we've got Sarabia on the bench. We've got Sasha on the bench. They'll come on and they'll do something for us here and we'll get into the game. I always felt throughout that game that we were going to get a goal. I really did. And I know we were a bit wasteful at times with the final ball and we had some good opportunities that we didn't take. But I always felt we were going to get something out of the game. And I think that was, again, going back to what we were saying, that's why the crowd stuck with us, because everyone else felt the same as well. You know, so I could see Jason nodding there. He was kind of thinking, we're going to get something here. We are going to get something here. Just go back to Bellegarde. I think he was in and out of the game a little bit. I think Tottenham kind of marked him quite well at times and sort of pushed him a bit wide. He's not really a winger, is he? I mean, he's more of a sort of an inside forward, if you like. So I think that pushed him quite wide, and he's not a great crosser of the ball. But he's a really good player, and you saw that last week again when he came off the bench and scored, didn't he? So again, he's got goals in him, and he'll be positive and he'll drive with the ball. I mean, I really like watching us at the minute. I don't know about anyone else, but the way we move forward and we've got energy, we've got pace, we've got aggression, we've got belief. It's just really good to watch. And it doesn't matter whether it's Manchester City, Tottenham, whoever it is that's coming to Molineux particularly, we're going to give them a game. And if they want 3 points, they've got to earn it. And I think Tottenham yesterday, they probably felt at 1-0, we can just sit back here. And that's a big mistake against us. Because if you invite us onto you with the pace and the aggression we've got, we're going to cause you trouble. And I think you felt as the game went on, the more we got further forward into those great areas, we were going to get something.
No, I completely agree. And I think you're right what you're saying in the sense that there seems to be this belief that's coming through the team. Mario Lemina, I saw his interview after the game and they interviewed him and how joyous he was. He was basically saying about his career has been interrupted by a lot of injuries and stuff like that. And he hasn't really found himself. I'll get from talking to Mario Lemina. Well, I haven't spoke to him, but like listening to what he said when he was talking after the game, he feels like sometimes some players are just a fit for a club. They just come in and they just fit. I've talked about like I don't know who it was. I think it was Chris that was telling us that he's got some Southampton mates and they can't believe he's the same player that they had. And we also talk about Fabio Silva now, how he is, and it just doesn't seem to click for him. Maybe Fabio Silva in 6 years' time he'll be somewhere and he will be this superstar. Mario Lemina and Wolves seem to have come together at the perfect time and seem to be the perfect fit, because we were worrying when we lost Neves and Moutinho and the changing of the guard. But this new midfield that we've got, Mario Lemina, you've got Tommy Doyle, Boubacar Traore, Joe Gomez, got Joe Hodge behind him. They're young players. Someone said like the performance that Joe Gomez, a couple of people said that, he was a man of the match. I mean, how old's Joe Gomez?
21, isn't he?
He's the same age as Fabio Silva. And like people go on about thinking, but like Joe Gomez is going out there and delivering. He's delivering
week in, week out.
Week in, week out. And he's consistent.
You know what? He doesn't play like a 21-year-old, does he? And
No.
it's the old adage, if you're old enough, you're good enough. Or you're good enough, you're old enough. And Joe Gomez just proves that in buckets.
And he is, and like he's 21 years of age, and he's just going to keep improving. Lucy, I mean, absolutely, we talked about it, but I think we're going to lose Dawson for the next match. I think he's picked up his, is that correct? His 5th booking, so he's going to be suspended. Lucy, what do you think? Who would you put in for the next game? Would you drop to a back 4? You stick with the back 5, maybe drop Doherty in? I don't know.
I don't know. I think Doherty would be a good fit. I think on the back line he'd be pretty good.
Or Johnny's played there as well, hasn't he?
That's true. That's true. And we can't write him off, to be honest. He's exactly the same as Sarabia. You can't write Johnny off because he has his bloody good games too. You watch him in training and he's full of the joy. He's just playing when he's training. So I can't see why not putting Johnny in, to be honest.
Yes, I mean, that's going to be interesting.
Actually,
be interesting to see what the other guys have to say on that as well. The other point that I want to make, Sutty came on here last week, the away game, about like the minute silence, paying the respects. Molineux did such a great job yesterday. Everyone was in the seats. I didn't hear anything. I thought the Tottenham fans were fantastic as well. It was really, really. It's always quite an emotive and emotional thing at football. Emma was talking about this on the way back when you stood there, with the rest of like the pack, the crowd, 30,000 people that are stood there, all paying respects, silent whilst the bugler plays, and I just thought it was really, really well respected yesterday. What did you think, Lucy?
It was beautiful. I didn't hear a pin drop. In the pub beforehand, in the Moon, we did a 2-minute silence, as I'm sure everywhere did, at 11 o'clock. Somebody's phone went off and scared the life out of everybody. But in the stadium, not one phone went off, not one bleep, nothing. It was just silence, and it was beautiful. Everybody did themselves proud and did those that have lost their lives proud too.
Absolutely. And the other thing to mention is the world's eyes. Don't forget the Premier League is shown around the world. We were the only match that was taking place at that time. So it was the prime match starting on the Saturday, and everyone. I think we did everyone proud.
There was one thing I did notice though, Dave. I don't know whether anybody else did. Our backroom staff were all stood up, arm in arm. Even the lads on the bench were all stood up. All the top, apart from the manager, were sat down in their seats.
I never noticed that, but that's a very good point that you raise. Very, very good point.
I pointed out everybody around me, and they all said they're shocked. Yeah,
no, that's a good point. I obviously didn't notice that, but it's a good point, and it's good that Gary got all the staff standing up. Jason, the bookings. Who was it that ran on the pitch? Was it Aitnori and
Aitnori and
Gomez?
Do you know what? I loved seeing that. I know they got a booking for it.
Yeah,
I loved the fact that they literally ran across the pitch.
Yeah,
and so that, to me, although they got the booking, shows me a team that's together and wants to play.
You know what? I've seen a photo of when they got booked. They didn't even care. There wasn't even bothered. It wasn't important to them. And don't forget, this is a player that's just been taken off. So he's probably, he's been brought out the action. Probably, it's not obviously a great feeling, but that's how they are. They are a squad. They are a unit, and you can see that now. And it seems to have galvanised throughout the whole squad. And this is why when players are being brought in, they're gelling in straight away, like Sarabia. I didn't see a performance like that under Lopetegui, but all of a sudden he's putting these performances in under Gary O'Neill. An interesting point about Sarabia, we talk about positioning, and what position is he? Bellegarde, what position is he? I sort of questioned earlier in the chat. And it's quite interesting because someone said to me, like this number 9 that we're all looking for and every club's looking for, it's because there's not actually that many number 9s out there. There's not that many typical players who play in a number 9 centre forward position anymore. Players who've got so many different roles, so many different duties, and they're a lot more skillful now. So that they do tend to play deeper. They don't play on the last man. They're not all like Haaland and Jamie Vardy or Bully, players like that who are out and out centre forwards, if you like. There's not many of them left now, and this is why it's quite difficult to decipher which players almost play where sometimes, because there's not a typical 2 men up top. There used to be 4-4-2, 2 men up top, big man, little man, and that's how it was. But it's completely different now. But Sarabia, it just shows that there's versatility, and like you said, and this is why. I echo Jack's points. This is why throughout the game, especially the second half, I feel we was going to come back into it. When you look at what was on the bench and you look at how we were still attacking, and obviously the game management of Gary O'Neill, which is obviously the posh terminology for substitutes, it has been, by far more positive than there's been any negative impact on the games when he's made changes. So, yeah, I always felt we could get something out of it.
Well, absolutely. And guys, I just want to make the point, we've got nearly 400 of you watching live, which is absolutely incredible. I hope you're enjoying our talk about the game. Don't forget, if you do want to join in the chat, all you need to do is hit that subscribe button. If you're enjoying the content, please smash a like. Takes you less than a second to do that. Lets YouTube know that you're enjoying it, and it helps the channel as well. So please do that for us. Before we go on to talking about performance ratings, man of the match and all that, the first of our Christmas gifting ideas that have been sent by my friends at FOCO is this BRXL ball. It's kind of like a Lego ball that you build yourself. It's a great little Christmas stocking filler, and the link is in the description below. And I've got another one to show you a little bit later. But yeah, they've sent me this. I'll be having a go at this over Christmas myself. But it's a Wolves it's called the BRXL ball construction thing, and you can build it yourself. But it's a great little stocking filler for yourself, for friends and family, or for young ones as well at Christmas. And don't forget, if you use Always Wolves 15, you get a discount as well. Right, Paul, I'm going to come on. Sorry, Josh, I'm going to come on to you first. I wanted your highlight of the day, your performance rating, your man of the match. And I also want, when I come round to everyone, the one thing a few people have mentioned in the chat is our corner delivery and set piece. I think if there was one thing that we can definitely look at improving on, so many times we didn't even beat the first man yesterday. I think if there was one thing that we can criticise, I think it was our set piece delivery, and I just want to get your thoughts on that as well. So we're going to go Josh, Jack, Paul, Lucy, and then Jason, as with all your points. Also, your highlights of the day, your performance rating, and your man of the match too.
Yeah, so like we said, the corners, I don't know what was going on. It was every single, I think there was one that reached the middle. And then I think when Totti got his head to it at the save bank first half. But the rest of them, I thought Martinho was inconsistent and bad. He struggled to beat the first man 9 times out of 10. But that yesterday, it was like they all took a page out of his book.
And Darren said we had 11 corners yesterday as well.
But it was every ball was the first man. And I don't think they knew who was taking the corners, because I knew he was taking some as an out swinger. Then Bellegarde was taking it as an in swinger. It was just, there was no, I just didn't get it.
Without Neto, there seemed, seemed.
It was just weird. There were just so many. It was one of the constants throughout the game. And I always used to say it when Martinho got the ball, I used to go, beat the first man, and he never did. And I started saying it again yesterday. It was never happening. But that was, I think they'll sort it, but it's just weird to see it again. The whole game, it was just horrendous taking a corner.
Hey, look, and it's good to have things that, basic things that we can look at doing better. And I'm sure Gary O'Neill and the coaching staff will be certainly looking at that for the next game, because without Neto, and as someone said, Doyle, I mean, he took the free kick to set us in. I know it wasn't a cross, but it was his pinpoint pass.
Yeah.
We do need to have other options that we can do. So hopefully they'll look at that. Your highlight or moment of the day could be eating a burger or a pie at halftime, whatever. But I'm sure that you've got something that stands out, mate.
Yeah. So the highlight of the day for me was it was my dad's mate. My dad's mate and my best mate's dad, same person. It was his 60th. Well, it's his 60th today, and we met up in town before the game. Had a few drinks, and then we had another one, and then met up after the game. And then he didn't know that he was having a surprise party, so we got back to his house. He stayed uptown for another 3 hours with his lads. One lad was my mate was absolutely smashed when he got back and dropped him off home. So it was me, family, friends, 60th birthday surprise party at his house after the game last night at 5:30. That was my highlight of the day. Match rating for me, I'm probably going to go 7.5. I know we got the win. I just thought first half, I thought we were playing to them rather than us going out and doing what we needed to do, because you had Porro and Emerson Royale. They were basically playing centre midfield first half. And we were being dragged in by that. Both our wingers were coming in and following them. It's just like they were coming around, the spaces were through. But then second half, I think we played to our strength and started using the width a bit more. Pulled Bellegarde and Hwang off Porro and Emerson Royale, and they followed them. Soon as then started going wide, you never saw Emerson Royale in the middle. It was always Bissouma. And then Lamina targeted him constantly that second half. And then Bissouma getting booked. So that's why we were 7. And then my man of the match, I was teeing it up all game. There'd be a tackle thrown in and a ball won back by Gomez. Then Lamina would do the same. Then Gomez. Then Lamina. I kept saying to my brother, I said, I can't pick here. This is when we won the game as well. Yeah. I was literally putting my fingers, who's done what here? But it has to go to Mario. The way he just composed himself. It wasn't the cleanest of shots, but he just ran through the defence.
When he first did it, I thought he was going to scuff it wide, and then it went in. But
it was just that raw as well. When on the video that I've sent to someone just and on the walls and on Match of the Day,
I have to put that.
You hear that first, go on, but you hear everybody say it. It's not like a pocket or a noise. You hear everybody. And then when that went in, I just turned to my brother after I'd smacked him 4 or 5 times on his ribs. He's not got bruises this morning. I do not know. I said man of the match. So Mario for man of the match for me.
Fantastic. Jack, over to you.
Yeah, just on the corners, I wonder whether it was a tactical thing, because when I watched Tottenham, it was Monday night, wasn't it, against Chelsea? Every time Chelsea put a corner in the box, the goalkeeper just came and went, bang, I'll have that. So I wonder whether we were trying to keep it away from the 6-yard box to try and get some contact on it, but we just weren't quite getting it right, and it wasn't quite beating that first man. I think with corners and set pieces, I think
interesting, yeah.
I think a lot of times now, I think teams have a dedicated set piece coach, don't they? So you can have 4 or 5 or 6 different routines. You can have one that goes near post, one that goes far post, one that comes in low, one that goes to the edge of the box and comes back in. So I just wonder whether we're missing a trick there, and we can just get a little bit more clever with some of our set pieces, because we've got some very good attackers of the ball. Dawson's great at attacking the ball. Totti is good as well. Lamina can do it. So if we could just get that delivery a little bit more varied and just catch teams out, I think, again, it's something where we're scoring a lot more goals as it is, but that's something, again, where we could perhaps just increase even further, because like someone just said, 11 corners. If you have 11 corners in the game, you should be getting 3 or 4 of them to get a shot on target or a header on target. So we're a bit wasteful on that. Performance rating, I'm going to go with Josh, 7.5. I thought first half, again, like Josh said, we were kind of a little bit timid, a little bit. Or Tottenham are good, and they are good. They're a good team. You know, I don't buy all this. They're injured players, because they just bring other internationals in instead, don't they? So it was always going to be a tough ask.
I'm surprised with these 7.5. You know, we won the game. I mean, come on, 7.5. We
did, but it was a tight game. I think, you know, had it stayed a draw, I don't think we could have been too.
And it's stayed a draw of maybe a 7.5, but come on, Jack.
Yeah, 7. I'm going 7.5. There's room for improvement. You've always got to have room for improvement.
What have we got to do, Jack, to get a 10 out of you, or even a 9? Have they got to like?
He's related to Craig Revel-Horwood. You know that, don't you?
Absolutely. Yeah. They always got to leave room for improvement, haven't you? You know.
And your man of the match?
Yeah. Man of the match, Lamina. I think that's 3 weeks in a row giving it to him. So he was unbelievable, and just to find that extra burst of energy at the end there to run through, that's guts, that's desire, that's heart, that is, and that's exactly what we need from our team. And he showed it in absolute buckets yesterday.
Is there anything else that we've missed off with you, Jack?
Man of the match.
Highlight of the day, just that noise when that winning goal went in. Like I said, I think that's Molineux, isn't it? You know, we're all slightly biased, I know, but I think there's something very unique and special about our ground when we're on it. And I always worry a bit with the 12:30 kickoffs, because let's be brutally honest, people haven't had time to get enough fuel, if you know what I mean, in them. So it's always a little bit, isn't it, when you have a lunchtime kickoff? But I thought it was by the end there, it was phenomenal. So yeah.
And we talked about like the Molineux atmosphere last year and stuff like that. And I know they were thinking like the fans, but like a lot of what that you can try and manufacture things, but there is nothing better than a crowd that believes in the team, and the team feeds off the thing, and that raises the performance on the pitch affects the performance off the pitch, and the performance off the pitch affects it, and it's a catalyst. And when you've got a team that and a fan base that aren't fighting against each other and are starting to come together again, you know, I mean, thank you very much, Pep Guardiola, to helping with that, for bringing Nunes on for that. That certainly started that cascade. And I mean, Molineux, the roar and the noise and the togetherness and the joy coming out the ground, and the beams on everyone's face, and that feel good factor. We've ached for it for so long, and it's early doors, and we can't get carried away because we need the consistency. But we're starting to see the green shoots of something. The building blocks of something that wall starting to be built back up again. Paul, over to you. Obviously, your thoughts on the corner situation, and then all the other bits and pieces.
Yeah, I'll be as quick as I can. My thoughts on the corner situation are they've got 2 weeks now where it's the international break. Yes, some players are away, but it's a perfect opportunity to get some proper work done on it, some planned routines, some variety, some creativity. So no excuses by the time Fulham comes round.
100%.
Yeah, moment of the day, completely agree with what Jack said, but just to be different, I'll go for the technical brilliance of Sarabia's goal. What an outstanding bit of skill that was. Performance rating, I'd give it an 8 overall. Watching the highlights back on Match of the Day really confirmed that for me this morning. We did create quite a lot in the end, and we did limit them to pretty much nothing. I think Sarr made one fingertip save, didn't he, from outside the box from Lo Celso near the end. And a really good response as well to that defeat last week. Man of the match, I was going to tie it between João Gomez and Lamina. João Gomez, the work he got through was phenomenal. He really brings an energy and intensity and a technical ability to our play. But it's got to be Mario for the way that he sealed it with that winning goal. So 8 and Lamina.
Well said. Lucy, over to you.
Hi. Moment of the day, I was going for a big Boston breakfast at 7 o'clock in the morning, walking from home, half an hour walk in the freezing cold, and going to have a big Boston breakfast. It was lovely. Well, Lane Cafe in Wentzfield, you can't beat it. Proper
nice.
Pub. And then straight up the town on the bus, 8 o'clock in the moon. So, hang on a minute. Who had enough drink? We had enough drink before the game. That was my highlight. I think I'm going to give it a 9.
A 9? Yeah, go on, explain.
Just for the way it made everybody feel. I think the boys, there wasn't one player that I thought would get him off. They all put the work in. I was a bit disappointed in Hwang, and he's losing the ball all the time. Every time he had the ball, it was slipping. It was like butter on a knife. It was just slipping straight off. I've got to big up Semedo in the first half. It was a very dull first half for us. It felt like we were watching them play rather than actually, playing as teams against each other. Semedo was brilliant. He was just great. He getting in the right positions all the time. But overall, I think I'm going to give it to Lemina. He was just class. Absolutely class. He looked absolutely knackered by the end, but overall, he just did not stop. The lad did not stop. He won that free kick, leading to that beautiful goal at the end, and just the noise levels were amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Molineux was rocking. Absolutely well said, Lucy. Jason, the last part of the show falls to you before we get on to the quiz. Which is going to be fun. I've got a 5 shootout tonight for the title. Jason, thoughts on the corners plus the man of the match performance rating and your highlight of the day?
Thoughts on the corners. We did have a bit of a spell, didn't we, under Bruno Lage, where we just couldn't beat the first man. And Moutinho obviously was the player that seemed to be struggling. Then we was trying all these short corner routines. And for me, a corner, well, for everyone, is just a direct cross in the box. How many times do we get excited when a player runs down the wing and whips the ball in? A corner's a really good opportunity to do that. So it's so important. So hopefully that we'll work on that during the break. Moment of the match for me was that unbelievable skill from Sarabia. These, as Gary O'Neill said in the dressing room after the game, the skill we've got in that dressing room is incredible. You look at Ain't Nori in the first half, some of the moves he was doing, and just the team now is awash with these skillful players. And you think, I think Gary O'Neill likes that. Gary O'Neill does like a flair play. You can see that. Hence the reason he's giving Ain't Nori an extended run in the team. So the moment for me was that touch by Sarabia. I just thought it was just an unbelievable touch. And these moments of skill don't come around very often. Something as special as that. Performance rating, I'm going for a 9. We've got to be realistic. We just beat top of the league at Molineux. They're not top of the league now, but we just beat the team that was top of the league at Molineux 2-1. And I think we was good for the win. Would we have took a draw? Yeah, of course we would have done, but I think we was good for the win. I think we deserved it. And then, the way Molineux erupted on the second, on the first, was just incredible. And he just put a real good feeling around the stadium. And the man of the match for me, Mario Lemina. I just thought he was just untouchable yesterday. He did so much. He found that energy at the end. As Jack said, covered every blade of grass. He's such, when we signed him, I don't think he really jumped off the page for a lot of people that stood out as a player that we was all excited about. But what a player he's been. And like I said, we was worried about losing Neves and initially Moutinho. And Moutinho not so much, but we was worried about this midfield breaking up. And we've just got 2 unbelievable midfielders. And we actually, I hate to say it, but if we look at the football over the last 2 years, we look better with Lemina and Gomez than we do with Neves and Moutinho. And I'll stick my neck out and say that.
I think that's a fair shout, mate. I think it's a fair shout. The thing with Neves, we were so reliant on Neves and getting the ball to Neves, which is one player.
Yeah.
Whereas now I feel like, and it's not his fault, but I just feel like we're playing more as a unit, cohesive unit.
I think as well with Neves, we was almost building around him, and every manager that come in was building around Ruben Neves, and so much so with Lage that he dropped him into defence. So I think
that was the day he got sacked after that.
Well, absolutely, but I just think it's so important that we haven't got players now that we're building around. And these guys have come in and they've just been unbelievable. And I did say, are we really missing Neves if the truth be known? Great player, unbelievable, fantastic memories. But you know what? Lemina is doing an unbelievable job.
He absolutely is. And guys, if you want me to just put that last minute winner on again in the comments, in the chat there, just put a wolf head or a thumbs up, and if I get over 10 of you doing that, I'll I don't know where this thumbs up comes from when I do that on the screen. That's crazy that it keeps doing that. I'll put it on. Just before I get on to that, and then before we get on to the quiz, which is going to be a 5-star shootout, another Christmas idea here from my friends at FOCO is this Molineux build it yourself 3D construction stadium. Now this looks juicy and really, really nice. Another great Christmas gift to get. The link's in the description below, and you can get yourself a nice little discount off that. And you don't just get the option on that, because they've got lots of other products as well. Slippers. There's the stadium that I told you. It's got all the the different stands on there for you as well. And then you've got there's the ball, which I showed you earlier. And then you've got other things as well. You've even got like Christmas crackers. Can you imagine being a Wolves fan and you've got that, you're opening those in your Christmas dinner table, Christmas crackers, Christmas baubles and everything as well. So yeah, make sure you check that out. Links in the description below. If you use Always Wolves 15, you get yourself a nice discount. Right. Right. We've got quite a few people that want to see the goal again. So guys, get yourself ready, because after this, it's a 5 shootout. We're going to put the goal on again. Here we go. Let's just rewind it to the Absolutely fantastic. I could watch that over and over.
Dave, I'm not even watching the goal now. I'm just watching them two Spurs fans.
Yeah.
It's that dad and his lad, isn't it? They're definitely Spurs.
It is kind of. It really is. I mean, you know, if you're gonna sit in the away end, then you can feel the pain.
You might as well have wore a Cocker outfit.
It's happening a lot though. The last few games, there's been a fair few away fans in the home end. There's been on Twitter.
I don't know. I could never personally sell my ticket to someone. I couldn't do it.
There's been a few on Twitter saying that they've spotted a load the last month since the start of the season.
And all the Koreans yesterday, that I've never seen so many. Obviously, it's because it was Hwang and Son, but there was so many, which is good to see. But there was just so many.
Did you see what they did on their essentially their Sky Sports? They had like up in the top left hand corner. On Sky Sports over here, we have the club badges. They had the name. They had the name, but instead of the club badges, it was a photo of Hwang and a photo of Son.
Really?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah, no, I mean, Wolves were supposed to go to South Korea, obviously, pre-season. I think they had produced something like 500 to 1,000 Wang shirts to sell over there. So I know from that I think they sold something like 90 Wang shirts last season when they did the thing. So hopefully they sold I mean, there's a load of Koreans in the club shop buying everything and anything, but there was so many that were buying Wang shirts. So hopefully that have sold a fair few of those shirts that they had printed for the South Korea tour. But it's great to see, you know, I mean, it brings in the new fan base and stuff like that. You know, they were enjoying it. I mean, I was in the went in the club shop after. I don't often go in the club shop, but I did. And then this guy from Texas stopped me. He said, Dave, I watch you all the time. Like, you're in the club shop. And like, he'd come over from Texas and he was like, this is better than any American football game or what. It was just amazing. And I just thought, great, you've come all that way. And then you've seen what football is all about, you know. And he was buying everything and anything in the club shop as well, because he'd come all that way. But like, we have a lot of international fans that come over, and I think it's great when they make the pilgrimage to Molineux. And we've got to embrace it. You still got to have the local fans, and the club have got to make sure they look after the legacy fans and they don't price them out and all of this. It's a conversation for another day, but it's still great to grow the brand because that does bring in revenues. Right, are you ready for the quiz?
No.
Right, Lucy, I'm going to give you the option of going first, second, third, fourth, or fifth.
First to get it out the way, because I'm going to do crap anyway. So.
You're gonna go first. Paul, I'll give you the chance now to go second, third, fourth, or fifth.
I'll go second.
And Josh, you can go third, fourth, or fifth.
Go on, I'll go third. I'll go in the middle.
And Jack, you can go fourth or fifth.
I'll go fifth.
Jason, he's going fifth.
I want to go fifth.
You're going fourth. So, Lucy, this is a penalty shootout, right? Everyone gets 3 penalties. And if it's a tie, there's a shootout at the end. Okay. So you gotta imagine that you're at Molineux now. You know, you take your penalty shootout to take Wolves to an FA Cup final or something like that.
No pressure.
Here we go. So your question is, Lucy, in which season were Wolves relegated for the first time? Was it 1905, 1906? Was it 1915, 1916, 1925, 1926, or 1930-31 season?
Give her a chance.
1916, 1926, or 1931?
Poor Lucy.
The 1916 one. There we go. That one.
Oh, Lucy, you've hit the post. You've hit the post. It actually is the 1905-1906 season.
Oh.
Lucy, call yourself a fan.
Paul, you're up next, aren't you, mate? Paul prides himself on his knowledge. In which season, Paul, did Wolves win their first league title, the 3rd Division North? Was it the 1922 season, the 1923 season, the 1924 season, or the 1932 season?
1923.
Oh, Paul, you've set the keeper the wrong way. It's gone in. Boom. So,
Well
third, that's Josh. Josh, in which season did the John Island stand, now the Steve Bull stand, open? Was it the 78-79 season, the 79-80 season, the 80-81 season, or the 81-82 season?
Ooh. I am going to go. What was the 81? 79-80, was it?
So you got 78-79, 79-80, 80-81, 1981-82.
Okay, 79-80.
79-80. You want to lock that in?
Yep.
Top corner, mate. Beautiful penalty.
Yeah.
Literally stroked it. Beautiful. So you're on 1-1 with Paul. That comes up next to the Lord himself, Jason Guy. Jason, in which rather disastrous season was Tommy Docketer manager at Wolves? Was it 82-83, 83-84, 84-85, or 85-86?
84-85.
You locking that in?
I'm locking in 100%.
You know what? He's Rabona, the keeper. He's literally chipped it in. He's that confident. Boom, it's in. So yeah, so this is good. Stepping up for penalties. 1-1 for Jason, Josh, and Paul. Jack, can you keep with them? Your penalty. In which season was Steve Bull Wolves' top scorer for the last time? Was it 94 season? Was it the 93-94 season, the 94-95 season, the 95-96 season, or the 96-97 season? If you need me to repeat it, let me know.
It won't make any difference. Let's go. He had a lot of injuries towards the end, didn't he? Let's go 95-96.
You're going to lock the 95-96 season in?
Yeah, I'll go with that. Yeah.
Paul, you're shaking your head. Do you know what it is?
I think it was the last one under McGee, 96-97. I think we was that the season he scored a hat-trick on the opening day at Grimsby?
Well, I can tell you, Paul, you don't get a penalty for this or a goal, but you are correct. You know, Jack, you've just literally hit the top of the crossbar. Unlike the Sheffield United player last week that it hit the crossbar and went in, it's bounced on the line and bounced out. I'm sorry. So after the first,
poster haven't they, Dave, about that.
pardon?
They've done a poster about Ollie Norwood's penalty.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God!
I know. How sad is that? So anyway, after round one, Lucy, you've missed your first one. It's top and tail because Lucy and Jack have both missed, but Paul, Jason, and Josh have converted. So we're on to round two, the second round of penalties. So Lucy, in which season did Wolves fail to win a single away game in the league? Was it 2003, 2004? Was it B, 2009, 2010, C, 2010, 2011, or D, 2011, 2012? So 2003, 04, 2009, 10, 2010, 11, 2011, 12. Which one is A, B, C, or D?
B.
You're going for 2009, 2010.
Yeah.
You locking that in?
Yeah, just go for it because it's going to be wrong anyway. Go.
Jack and Josh, you're shaking your head on that before I give the answer. What do you think it is?
03, 04.
I think it's 03, 04.
Paul's nodding there. Paul, Lucy, you've hit the other post. You've hit both posts.
Yeah, because 9-10 was that the championship winning season?
Yeah.
Go back up.
It
Was
is
that the
the
year
2003, 2004 season, to be fair. So, okay. So, Paul, pressure back onto you. Steps up for your team. You're placing the ball on the spot. You're giving the keeper the eyes. In which season did Wolves draw a club record 21 games in the league? 2003, 2004, 2004, 2005, 2005, 06, or 2006, 07? So
it was under Hoddle, wasn't it? So I think 05, 06. It was like when we had Darren Anderton, Olifignana, Ali Adier on loan from Arsenal. So I'm saying 05, 06, I think.
Paul, you've sent the keeper the wrong way, but you put the ball past the post.
Oh,
04, 05, isn't it?
It's 04, 05. He's missed.
Right,
Keeper, he's gone. You've given the ice when you put it past the post. So you've missed 1 out of 2. Josh, to take a big step forward. Okay, Wolves survived in the Premier League by a single point on the final day of which season? 2008-09, 2009-10, 2010-11, 2011-12, A, B, C, or D? A, 2008-09, B, 2009-10, C, 2010-11, and D, 2011-12.
Trying to remember the kit we wore. Could we play Blackburn on the last day? And Blues were playing Spurs.
You don't get a point for that or a goal for that, though.
Yeah.
Don't shout out in the chat yet either as well, because you're giving.
So what were the answers? 08, 09?
08, 09, 09, 10, 10, 11, 11, 12.
The fact it was Blues, I'm pretty sure Blues come up with that season. So I'm going to go 9, 10.
You're going 9, 10.
Yeah.
Jack's shaking his head. Jack's shaking his head.
10, 11.
You know what, Josh? You've gone up to strike the penalty. Your foot's given way and it hasn't even made the line. So you've missed.
Yeah.
So you've missed
10, 11.
So that puts it on to back onto Jason, who can try and get back into this. Walter Zenga started which season as manager of Wolves, Jason? 2015, 16, 16, 17, 17, 18, 18, 19.
I'm going to go 17, 18.
Are you locking that in?
Yeah.
I'm afraid You've literally hit it. You've given the keeper the eyes, but he's not fell for it. He saved it. Saved it. Saved it.
Did
So
the year before?
16,
The year
17.
before.
16, 17, yeah. Saved
Yeah.
it. So Jack, a chance for you to get back in into the game. So your second penalty. In which season did Connor Cody start every single league and cup game for Wolves, 46 in total? 2017-18, 18-19, 19-20, or 2021?
I think it would have been the year we first went up and we got to the FA Cup semi-final. So is that 18-19?
Are you locking that in?
Yeah, go on.
Beautiful penalty, mate. You struck it really well. And that's it. So after round 2, Lucy, you're 0 out of 2, but you've been unlucky with your questions. Paul, how many you got now?
I'm on 1.
1 out of 2.
Yeah.
Josh, 1 out of 2. Jack?
1.
And
I'm on
Jason,
3.
Jason, you're 1 out of 2. You're 1 out of 2.
I only got 1. Yeah, 1 out of 2.
So it's really close going into round 3. So here we go. Round 3. Okay.
I know more.
Lucy. Wolves missed out on 3 First Division titles in a row in 1959-60 when they finished second. Who won the league title that year with 1 more point than Wolves? Was it Tottenham Hotspur, Burnley, Liverpool, or Aston Villa? Lucy's froze. Tough questions you've had, Lucy, to be fair. Tottenham, Burnley, Liverpool, or Villa? Think back to 1959-60 season.
Burnley.
You're going Burnley?
Yeah.
Oh, come on, Lucy. Killed it. You've literally, that's not being loose. Great shot. Well done. This gives you a chance of tying because the pressure's now falls onto Paul. Okay. So, Paul, you're up second. Dave Wagstaff made over 400 appearances for Wolves. From which club did they sign him in 1964? Manchester City, Blackburn Rovers, Blackpool, or Manchester United?
Man City, Blackburn, Man United, or Blackpool.
Yeah, it's definitely one of them.
Yeah. Can't say them all, can I?
Man City, Blackburn, Blackpool, or Man United?
I'll go City.
Manchester City, locking it in? You sent the keeper the wrong way again, Paul. You've hit the inside of the post. It's hit the back of the keeper as he's bounced, and it's gone over the line. You've scored. Well done. 2 out of 3. I just like to milk that one a bit there.
You got me going.
Where are we going with this, Dave?
Right. Josh, we're on to you. You need to get this right to stay in for the playoff. Right. Which club did Wolves beat in the final to win the inaugural, now defunct, Texaco Cup in 1970-71 season? Was it Dundee, Ards, Burnley, or Heart of Midlothian?
Who are the teams again?
Dundee.
Yeah.
Ards, Burnley, Heart of Midlothian.
What was the second one you said?
It's Ards.
Oh.
Don't say it, Carl.
Was D Hart?
D was Heart of Midlothian, yeah.
Going to go with them.
You're going to go with them? Are you confident?
No.
Well, there's a reason for that lacking in confidence, to be fair. You've hit the ball. The keeper's got his hand to it. It's hit the inside of the post, but it's gone in. It's a goal. Come on, he's still in it. He's still in it. Jason.
Yeah.
Pride, mate. You need to you pride yourself on your Wolves history. So
Do I?
pride. Yeah, you do. You're inherited Wolves historian later in life. You are.
Thanks for embarrassing me now as I get this wrong.
Right, I'm sure you'll get it right. I think you probably interviewed this guy. Anyway, Jeff Palmer.
Zico.
Palmer.
Have you interviewed him?
Only a few times.
There you go.
Yeah.
Jeff Palmer spent most of his career at Wolves, except for a 1-year break.
When he went to Burnley, thank you, ta-ra, I've scored. I've just hit the top corner.
This is wrong now, it'd be hilarious.
It ain't wrong, it's Burnley.
No, mate, you're right. It is Burnley. He's done 2 Rabonas. Done another Rabona. Yeah, so Jason, you're through. Well done. So Paul, Josh, and the Lord himself, Jason, is through. Can the voice of reason, Jack, get through to the final round?
Come on, Jack.
Which club did Wolves sign Andy Much from in 1986? Was it A, Kettering Town, B, Wigan Athletic, C, Southport, or D, Telford United?
I've got a funny feeling it's Southport, so I'm going to go with that.
Would it be funny if you got it wrong, though?
It would be, yeah. Well, I'm sure he's from that neck of the woods.
Are you going to go with Southport?
I'll go with Southport, yeah. Go on, why not?
Okay. You've scored. It's in. Okay, so we go through. Lucy, you're referee with me now.
That's
next
fine.
round, sudden death. If you miss, you're out. Okay. So that means Paul, you're first up now. Okay. So which club did Jeff Thomas join after leaving Wolves in 1997, mate? Was it Crewe Alexander? Was it Crystal Palace? Was it Barnsley? Or was it Nottingham Forest?
Ooh. I'll go with Forest.
You're going with Nottingham Forest. You're locking that in?
Yeah.
Blasted it down the middle, right into the roof of the net. Keeper can't do nothing about it. It's in. 3 out of 4, Paul. You continue. Okay. Josh.
Here we go.
Against which club did Steve Bull score his last Wolves goal in September 1988? Was it Bury, Bolton, Birmingham, or Bristol City?
I think it was Bury.
You're locking it in?
Yeah. I think. What year was it?
97.
I think that was my first game.
Well, let's hope you're right. He's hit it. And it's literally side thingy. Beautiful. Slotted it in. This is high pressure stakes. You're stepping up. So, Jason, you ready? Pressure's on you. Here we go. Which club did Wolves play their first ever Premier League game against? Was it Blackburn Rovers, Charlton Athletic, Manchester United, or Portsmouth?
Blackburn, we lost 5-1. Matt Murray was in goal. It's his only Premier League appearance ever. And the goal scorer for Wolves that day was the 6'7" Austrian Stefan Meyerhofer. Blackburn Rovers.
You think this keeper would get used to you rebounding him at the moment, but he's done it again. He's keeping thinking he's not going to do it again. He has. But unfortunately, you don't get 2, 3, or 4 penalties for all the detail, but you are correct. Let me know. Okay, Jack, on to you. Which club did Bruno Lage manage after leaving Wolves in 2022? Benfica, Swansea, Botafogo, or Porto?
Botafogo, I think.
Correct. Bloody hell. 4 out of 5. Okay, we're going to speed up now then. So back to Paul. For which club did Joe Moutinho make his first league appearances? Was it Sporting, Porto, Monaco, or Wolves?
Sporting.
2022.
Who he made his first? Who he made his debut?
Which club did Joe Moutinho make which club did Joe Moutinho make them? Sorry, which club did Bruno Lage? Sorry, which club did Joe Moutinho make the most league appearances? Was it Sporting, Porto, Monaco, or Wolves?
Wolverhampton Wanderers.
Correct. You're all through. Okay, so that's 4 out of 5. This is like
Gonna run out of questions now.
We're happy to shake hands and call it a draw, Dave. If you've got to get up early for Agadir.
Yeah, you've got an airport run, haven't you?
No, I want to win, Dave.
Okay.
I don't care, Dave. I don't care about your early morning.
I'm not going to give you. I'm not going to give you an A, B, C, or D this time. I'm just going to give you the question. You've got to give the answer. So, Paul, who am I? I once played a game for Wolves wearing a Superman outfit.
What? That's it?
That's the question. Who am I?
I know.
I've got no idea.
I'm surprised you don't know this one. I reckon Jack, Josh, and Jason all know the answer to this.
It's probably got to be someone crazy like John Burridge. That's what I'll say.
Is that your answer?
Yeah.
Bloody hell, he's pulled it out the fire, hasn't he? I thought you were out. John Burridge. Right, 98-99 season. This is for Josh. I was the only one to play all 52 of Wolves League and Cup games. Who was it?
98-99. Oh, God. 98-99. I'm trying to think. I've got two names in my head, but I don't know if it's right. Either of them are right. I'm gonna go Keith Curl.
Who was your other name?
Dean Richards.
They've both been wrong. It's Mike Stell. You've missed.
Oh.
You've missed. So that means you're out. Jason, you're next. I was one of Wolves' longest serving goalkeepers. My nickname was the Cat. Who was
Williams.
Correct. Through 5 out of 6. 5 out of 6 for Paul. Jack, on to you. George Best stated in his autobiography that I was the player he most admired. Who was it?
Most admired. Is it someone like Peter Broadbent?
Oh, you're joking. You're joking. That's a brilliant answer. You're right. Okay.
Dave, you might have to move the flight.
Right. Paul.
Amazing.
I scored over 50 goals for Wolves after leaving the club in 2006 and went on to play for both Rangers and Celtic. Who am I?
Kenny Miller.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Right. Okay. Jason, quoted as saying, I've had more clubs than Jack Nicklaus, and Wolves was one of them. Who was it?
Oh, come on. That could be anyone. Guy Whittingham.
He's not in there. It was Tommy Docherty.
Tommy.
Right.
Yeah. No.
Jack, you've got to get this right to take it to a playoff. Okay, I won the league cup with Wolves in 73-74 and the FA Cup with Arsenal in 1976-77. Who am I?
Paul, if you want to ask an audience member, I've got one next to me saying...
I genuinely don't know. I could probably guess a random name, but no,
Go on then, guess a random name. Won the FA Cup with Arsenal in 76-77, League Cup with Wolves in 73-74.
Someone like George Berry, maybe?
Do you know what? It's a good guess, but you're probably going to kick yourself. I think he scored late on in the FA Cup final. Alan Sunderland.
Oh, okay.
How did you get there?
Alan Sunderland. Paul, congratulations. Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely. Guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. We've had a bit of fun. We've had some positivity. Guys in the chat, thank you so much for joining us. It's been great. Please smash a like. Don't forget to check out the offers in the link below. And I also want to just again say a big thank you to Creation Wolf for powering the show, the local company. Check them out. If you're brand new, please subscribe. It will be out on podcast later on tonight because I've got Emma waiting to put it up, and then we're going to get some shut eye from all of us. I hope you've enjoyed tonight. Let's keep the positivity flowing, and we'll see some of you at Fulham after the international break. Always Wolves.
Well done,
Always
Wolves.
Wolves.
Always Wolves.
Bye.
And check out Jason's book as well.
Yes.
God bless you all.